Good morning. Last night, we had 500 people pre-registered for Lobby Day today. So thank you all for coming, for getting up early. Some of you have come a great distance. We have people here from all over the state, and it's going to be another great Lobby Day.
I'm Juliet Romano. I'm chair of the Conservation Committee for the Seattle Garden Club. It seemed perfect that when I saw that there's a Lobby Day for our state in our own backyard, that it would be something not only I could do, but maybe I could get a few of our members to go as well. And people could see that it's not a huge commitment, but that it has a huge impact.
I'm Kathy Fletcher. I'm with People for Puget Sound, and we're one of 25 organizations that make up the Environmental Priorities Coalition. And together, we host this event every year to come to Olympia and tell our elected officials how important it is to protect the environment of Washington State.
I'm just a normal citizen, and I came to this through the awareness of stormwater issues because of how it affects my children when they're swimming in Lake Washington in the summer.
Our legislators' job is to represent their constituents and the interests of their district and ultimately Washington State. And the only way that they know what the interests of their districts are is if we tell them. So everything is focused around getting those votes.
It's so important for our legislators to meet with their constituents, and it's especially important for them to hear from their constituents who care about the environment. There are a lot of people roaming around the halls of Olympia whose interest isn't necessarily protecting the environment. So wear your green scarf with pride and have a great day today.
My name is Dave Upthegrove, State Representative from the 33rd District in South King County, and I serve as Chairman of the House Environment Committee. This year's legislative session is taking place under the cloud of a difficult economy, and as a result, a huge revenue shortfall. So lots of the attention this year is focused on how are we going to close a $5 billion budget gap. And that also makes it challenging for any new initiatives that might cost money, and it also takes up a lot of the time and attention to figure out how to close that budget gap. We need to look long-term. What's in the long-term sustainable health of our state? Having a healthy economy and a healthy environment go hand in hand. I don't believe they're mutually exclusive.
40 of us from the 43rd District went to meet with Representative Peterson. We had a great dialogue with him. I got a chance to go up and shake his hand. I was pulled into it, for personal reasons, but it's become bigger than that because it affects all of us.
A citizen from our district who communicates an issue to us is more powerful than any paid lobbyist because at the end of the day, we represent you.
I was pleased with the fact that they listened. It made me feel like it's definitely a worthwhile thing to do. I'm on board for next year, and I want to get my kids to go, and I want to get my kids' school's environmental group to go, and I'd love to get more of the Garden Club women to go. It's an infectious, thing.
I don't know if any of you have been glued to the internet or the television these last few weeks watching kind of revolution in Egypt. I know this is sort of a throw your TV out the window crowd, so I'm not sure how many are actually glued to your television, but it's been pretty powerful stuff watching a group of people come together and through democratic means insist upon free will, democracy, insist upon their freedoms. And it kind of is a reminder to me of how fragile what it is that we have in this nation and how it's easy to take it for granted, that for too long people, I think, get comfortable in their democracy or too cynical in their democracy and don't take the time to do what you are doing today, which is very powerful, which is fulfilling your role as a citizen to speak up and speak out for the kind of Washington State that you want for yourself and for your children. And one of the great journalists, Edward R. Murrow, once said that a nation of sheep begets a government of wolves. And if we are simply sheep and stick our head in the sands and assume someone else will take care of things, and it is only those with the high-paid lobbyists, only those who have a financial interest in the outcome who will prevail and the public interest loses. You don't have to be an expert in these issues when you talk to your legislators. Speak from your heart about the kind of Washington you want and what your values are, and people will listen.
It's worth it to take the time to dig deeper. It really is, to use a garden metaphor. To not just live on a superficial level for the time that you're here. It's worth it to get involved, to learn more, to have impact, to make a difference, because it's about our kids and grandkids.